What's going on, guys? Today I just figured it's about time I do a proper kind of introduction and overview video of my 2006 Nissan 350Z Roadster. So I've made plenty of videos of this car, of the exhaust, of driving it, all that kind of stuff, but I've never kind of given you guys the story of it, what I've done to it, what I think of it, all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to go over some of that today. So since it's a 2006, it has the DE rev-up engine, which is kind of the middle of the road between the three different motors. It's 300 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque, and say 7,000 RPM redline. And as I said, there's three different engines. There's the DE rev-up, which is this one, and there's the HR. The HR is by far the best. This one is kind of in the middle between the DE and the HR. So the engine is completely stock right now, and it's probably going to stay that way just because the intake on these cars stock is pretty good. And from what I've read in the forums, you can't really gain much from a cold air intake, at least with this engine. So there's really no point in spending like $250, $300 on a cold air intake when the stock one's already pretty good. Might do a K&N drop-in filter, and one thing that actually does work pretty well for these engines is a plenum spacer, which helps get air to the front two cylinders. It's just kind of a spacer that you put in between the upper and the lower plenum to help it breathe better. So I might do one of those, but for the most part the engine's probably going to stay stock. The wheels and the brakes are also all stock. That is something that I am considering upgrading. The only thing is with wheels at least, if I did wheels, I would want to go with some that are a lot lighter than stock, just because that can actually help a lot with acceleration and also with braking, even gas mileage too. But the only problem is that lightweight wheels are really expensive, and even if I were to get some wheels that were the exact same weight as these, it would probably cost close to $1,000, and at that point it would really just be an aesthetic upgrade, which is nice and all, and obviously I care a lot about how the car looks, but I just don't know if I could justify spending $1,000 on new wheels that are ultimately only going to make the car look better. They're not going to make it brake or accelerate any quicker. So as you guys can probably tell, I plasti dipped the emblems. Came out pretty nice. It was my first time using plasti dip, so came out looking okay. That stuff there is from the dealership emblem thing that I didn't like the way it looked, so I peeled it off, and I'm going to get that off soon, just haven't gotten around to it. But the only major modification I have on this car, if you guys can't tell, is this catback exhaust. I have a couple videos up of how it sounds. I absolutely love it. A lot better than stock. I mean, in terms of horsepower, they did claim it would add some, but from the research I've done, you're really not going to gain much power. At least you're not going to gain any feelable power, if that makes any sense, until you tune the car or do some more upgrades like catalytic converters, headers, stuff like that. So I am considering some high flow cats or even test pipes, but they obviously both have their issues in terms of pricing and check engine lights, emissions, that kind of stuff. So we'll see. Only thing I've done so far to the interior is these blue LED interior lights. Looks pretty cool at night. Kind of hard to tell right now that it's still light out, but it also came with some reverse lights and some trunk lights as well, so looks pretty cool. So soon I'm also going to be putting in a Pioneer head unit to replace the stock radio. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. It's been sitting around for a while, but that's it for the interior. So as I said earlier, it's the touring package, so it has the leather seats. They're also power and heated, so that's pretty good. It's got some stuff on the steering wheel, which you don't get with the lower end models. Kind of nice to have, but I guess some would prefer a more basic steering wheel. These seats are actually really nice. They hold you in really snugly, and they're also pretty comfortable too. So I bought this car a little bit over a year ago. It was in March of 2015, so a year and a couple months. And I didn't actually start driving it until like the end of April the same year. Obviously, it was like a month later. And that was because basically when I got this car, I hadn't fully learned yet how to drive stick. My dad was still teaching me, and I was still driving my old automatic car. So it kind of just sat around, and it was sitting in the driveway for about a month until I had learned how to drive stick properly, and then I just switched over from my old automatic car to this one. So the reason why we got this before I even knew how to drive it was because it was right after a terrible winter. There was still snow everywhere. It was freezing out. So the market for a soft top convertible was really low. So obviously, as you can imagine, we got a really good price on it. So it made sense to buy it then. So the one repair that this car needed was it actually needed a complete soft top replacement, which was really expensive. It was $500 for the part and $500 for the labor, so obviously really expensive. It had to be done though because there was a hole in the soft top, so obviously needed to be fixed. And we took it to a couple different shops, and they told us that that's just normal for a soft top convertible to happen every like 9 or 10 years. So, oh well, I guess that's what I get for not getting the coupe. So that actually leads me to the next topic, which is this car versus the coupe version, which is kind of a question that I get a lot from people. Do I wish I had gotten the coupe? Why did I get the convertible? And honestly, in hindsight, I'll be honest, part of me wishes I did get the coupe, and the reason being is that it's 300 pounds lighter, which is obviously like that's a big amount of weight right there. So acceleration is a little bit quicker, handling is a lot better, also more aerodynamic. Also the soft top replacement, which cost $1,000, as I said. I also could have saved probably $1,000 if I got the coupe rather than the convertible. But at the same time, the convertible was what I wanted at the time, obviously. Now, you know, like I said, I do kind of have some regrets, but at the same time, it's so much fun to drive around in nice weather during the summer with the roof down with this car and just listen to that exhaust with the backfire and everything like that. So it definitely has its upsides, and if I did it all over again, it would really depend on which cars I could find, if that makes any sense. So like if I could find a good price coupe with low mileage, good condition, a good year for the car with a nice engine, I would probably get that. But conversely, if I found one, if I found kind of like a shitty coupe and I found a nicer convertible, I probably would have gotten that. Whereas like a year ago, I had my heart set absolutely on a convertible and I wasn't considering the coupe at all. So if I were to do it all over again with the 350Z, would I get a convertible? And the answer is maybe. And the reason I say maybe is because it depends on what I could find for coupes and what I could find for convertibles. I would really want a 2007 or 2008, which has the HR motors, as I said, by far the best engines, especially when you mod them. They can make a lot more power naturally aspirated. So I guess it would really depend on, like I said, if I could find if it was like a good coupe versus a shittier convertible, definitely go with the coupe. If it was a good convertible versus a lower end coupe, then I would get the convertible. Whereas a year ago when I wanted this car, I had my heart set on a convertible. I wasn't even considering the coupe at all, which was a mistake because just looking online now, there are some awesome deals on coupes that would be a lot faster than this and probably handle a lot better as well. So that's really it for this video, guys. Please leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. See you next time.